Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk: drywalling safety. Installing drywall can create several safety risks, including falls, overexertion, and muscle strains, particularly in the worker's back. Use the following safety precautions when installing drywall. Know the weight of the drywall sheet before beginning the job, and plan accordingly. Sheets of drywall can weigh 55 to 120 pounds, so it is important to know the size you are dealing with to ensure you have adequate workers to handle the job. To minimize the need for transport, have the drywall sheets delivered directly to the place where they will be installed. If transport is necessary, use forklifts, dollies, or hand trucks to move the drywall sheets. If possible, do not install drywall by hand, have a drywall lift or drywall jacks available, especially when working with heavier sheets and ceilings. Be sure all workers are familiar with proper installation and lifting techniques. Each worker should also wear PVC grip gloves to make lifting and holding drywall sheets easier. When hanging vertical pieces, raise the sheet, shift grips to opposite sides of the sheet and then rotate into a vertical position to secure to the wall. Use 2 workers to lift larger, heavier sheets, and lift only one sheet at a time. Be sure workers take adequate breaks to avoid overexertion and rotate each worker's task throughout the project. Drywall is a relatively safe material to use. The largest risk is dust and silica exposure from sanding. Over time, this dust can cause upper respiratory problems like asthma. Workers may face an increased risk for silicosis and lung cancer if silica is present. Another risk relates to the size and weight of drywall panels that must be moved or lifted into place. Installers need to consider the risk of strains and sprains when handling drywall and working on drywall ceilings. Your best protection from drywall dust is controlling the dust created by sanding. Using a vacuum system, you can reduce the amount of airborne dust when sanding and cleaning up. Or keeping your distance. Avoid dry sweeping and the use of compressed air. The most effective way to reduce the risk of exposure to drywall dust is to eliminate the source of exposure. If that's not possible, there are other risk controls to use. Imported drywall and mud products have been found to occasionally contain sulfur products or asbestos. Have your supervisor provide the SDS for all products you are expected to use. When choosing risk controls, start by asking yourself the questions below. Can silica-free drywall mud be used? Can vacuum sanding systems be used to capture dust when sanding and cleaning up? Can ventilation be improved? Can the areas being sanded be enclosed? Can an access hatch be used to deliver drywall to tall buildings? Can work practices be used that reduce the need for sand? Can warning signs be posted in the work area? Can sanding be scheduled for when the least number of workers are present? Can written safe work procedures be posted? Have workers been trained in ergonomic practices that minimize their risks when lifting and handling drywall panels? Do workers have the proper respirators and eyewear? Has personal protective equipment been tested to make sure it is working properly?